Well, hello, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs.
First of all, can you hear us and can you see us? We want to make sure that that's all available. I know you're about 20 seconds behind us, so just
Bria said it was a little spooky that we were whispering into our mics.
Yes. Hit that record button. Yes, the record button has already been hit. Just confirming, yes, we're actually recording now, so that's all covered.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's the last episode of Midsomer.
Oh my God, 132 episodes.
Can you believe it?
I didn't think we were going to last 10.
I just can't believe it that we've run out of episodes. It always felt like there were an infinite number of Midsommers.
I thought for sure that we would get almost caught up and they would have another season, and then this pandemic thing happened.
It kind of slowed them down, yeah.
I bet you if there wasn't a pandemic, we'd have 5-6 more episodes now.
Probably. But we'll get them.
Yep,
And when we do, we'll cover them.
It's definitely not the last.
Yes.
Definitely not the last. But it'll be switching. And so just to go over today very quickly, from 2 to 3, we're going to cover episode 132, The Witches of Angels Rise.
Right.
And then at 3 o'clock, you're going to get all sorts of goodies.
The premiere.
They're going to get the premiere of the trailer. You're going to get not only the premiere of the trailer, you're going to get what shows we're going to cover for the next 3 months.
Yeah. You're going to get the scoop. So
3 or 4 months.
If you haven't seen The Witches of Angels Rise, if it hasn't aired where you live, you might want to tune out and come back in an hour so that we don't ruin it for you, because we're going to spoil it.
We don't want to ruin it.
Which is why we've got spoiler alert, spoiler warning on the screen.
And so we're just going to cover the first hour like we would a normal episode, and then bounce into the switch over. And we'll talk a little bit about the switch over and all sorts of things that are going to happen because of it, and some ideas that we have to provide even more content for you guys. So
fun stuff.
Absolutely fun stuff.
Not as fun as seeing all these people in the chat.
Oh,
you guys are so great.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and at 3 o'clock, I'll go grab Olive.
Yes. So Olive will make an appearance.
Because everybody wants to see Olive. She'll be like, why am I here? What am I doing?
That dog is more popular than I am. But wow, she's not as...
She's the screensaver at the vet's office now.
Yes.
That's how popular she is.
She's a celebrity at the vet's office.
All right. Do we have anything at the top before we dive in?
A couple of things off the top. First of all, I did want to note that, first of all, this is This is Midsomer Maniacs, a comedy recap podcast dedicated to the ITV series Midsomer Murders. Each week, we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. I'm Mark Beck.
I'm Sarah Smith-Robbins.
And I just want to say right off the top, when we switch to Mystery Maniacs, you will lose nothing and gain more.
Yeah.
That's like... We're not going to get rid of anything. We're just going to add stuff.
Yep.
So, just again, spoiler warning. This is not aired in the UK, and I don't think it's aired in Australia yet.
I'm not sure anymore. It's so confusing to figure that out.
You might not have it, and if you let your kids go to psychic fairs, then they should be able to
handle this episode.
Have you actually been to a psychic fair?
Yes, I have.
How did it go?
So my uncle took me
to one.
Did they
know you were coming?
They should have. But you're getting confused about people who can see the future versus people who can just read your aura versus people who can talk to the dead. It's all very confusing. There's terminology.
Very confusing.
It was super fun. I had my palm read.
Nice.
And of course, it was all good stuff.
Oh, yes.
I think I was 13.
Oh, okay.
I was going to have a really fantastic life, which
Good.
I do.
There you go.
So they were right. What do you know?
What do you know?
I also had my numerology done, all of which I remember is that my lucky number is 9.
9. Okay.
That's all I got from that.
Okay.
But it was interesting. Have you ever been to one?
No.
Oh, no. You're missing out. It's so much fun.
It's not my bag, baby.
You don't have to buy into it for it to be fun.
I know. but it's not my bag. A couple of sad things. Bernard Cribbins and David Warner passed this week.
Yeah.
So both appearing in Midsomer episodes. Bernard Cribbins, you probably know better as Donna Tate's dad in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And David Warner as the ultimate evil.
Yeah, in Time Bandits
and
Lasers, 8 a.m.
Yes, he's also in Tron that I watched this week again, which is so fantastic.
But when you talk about a show like Midsomer, you're bound to lose actors because they have so many in the cast. But also, they tend to kind of, well, they used to anyway, attract kind of older, well-known actors, you know, that are familiar to people.
Definitely.
So it's going to happen. So, Witches of Angels Rise, when did it air? How many views did it have?
It has not aired in the UK yet. May to June 2021 is when it was recorded. It was directed by Gil Wilkinson and written by Maria Ward. Now, this takes place in
Angels Rise / Little Worthy.
Yes, they're kind of together in this.
Little Worthy is by far one of the deadliest villages in Midsomer.
They're like, oh, well, I'm not sure if Little Worthy's all that busy. I'm like, no, it's in like 5 episodes, isn't it?
More than 5. I'm just going to hold up these 2 sheets of paper.
This is the kind of nerds we are.
This is a list of all of the episodes that have Little Worthy in them. So if you've ever visited Little Worthy, you could be stabbed with a bodkin, stabbed with a trident, hit with a hammer, strangled in a bathtub, strangled, dismembered, sledgehammered, poisoned, bear trapped and shot, poisoned and drowned, shot, drugged, drowned, and hanged. I mean, there's a lot of options there, you know, in Little Worthy. They really should have a true crime festival in Midsomer.
Well, then they'd have to have some podcasters on, like us. Why are we not on here?
I just can't imagine like anybody would show up. Like, well, half the people who would have come are dead, so it's just not as popular as it used to be.
It's not a thing.
You know, they would have a panel of killers who have been paroled from Midsomer. That would be fun. That would be really fun.
I was a killer in a Midsomer.
Yeah. They should do it. Absolutely. So we had a spoiler-free mini episode for this one when it first came out on Acorn, which you should have listened to before you watched it. And we asked you to look for some stuff to watch like a maniac. And
just so you know, the mini episodes will continue for the new episodes.
For new episodes, for sure. Yeah. So in that one, we asked you to look for a guy who sneaks into the psychic fair without a ticket.
Yes.
We asked you to look for the psychic sketch artist, which is not easy to say.
No, it's not.
And see her awesome drawings.
They're not awesome.
They're awesome in their own way. We'll show you pictures.
Yep.
And we also asked you to look at the books in the episode because there's a lot of books.
There's a ton
and some of them
books.
are a bit wacky.
Yep. And pamphlets.
Lots of pamphlets and posters too. Because boy, Mark loves anything in print in Midsomer. You know, he studied it.
And we think this is the first reference to podcasting.
I think
Vlogging is in the fishing episode, but this is the first evidence of podcasting. Certainly spells and podcasting. I love it when Winter comes over to their house and they put the whammy on him to listen to the podcast.
Sally Ann and Rachel, like, subscribe, ring the bell. They may as well, you know, be trying to get him to sign up for BetterHelp or buy a mattress or something.
By the way, I'm just going to say this right now. There is a YouTuber that has 100 million subscribers, and we need 200 to get to 1,000. Can we not borrow 200 from that guy?
And he probably just sits and plays video games while people watch or something, right?
And like 65% of the people who listen to the podcast on YouTube don't subscribe.
How many subscribers do you think these two ladies have?
Oh, I think they're pretty popular.
With their Healing Matters podcast, which to me sounds like a medical podcast, not a witchy woo podcast. Yeah.
There's a lot of witchy woo podcasts, and that's great.
That's great.
I think that podcasting's a fantastic situation where an example of it where you can find a community where you didn't think there was community.
And it doesn't have to be huge to be successful.
No, it doesn't have to be huge to be successful, but we love you all, every last one of you.
Kimberly is asking if any of those books are real. Some of them are. We'll tell you.
None of the pamphlets are real.
Well, no, because Sarah's made them all.
Yes, Sarah made them all.
She has the Hades Caves brochure.
Yeah, she has a Hades Caves brochure. She has a brochure for
Night of the Stag Revisited.
Yes.
What is in that?
I don't know.
That is one of the scariest episodes.
Really, what's
me.
in that pamphlet is everybody talking about how that episode creeps them out.
It's reimagining the Night of the Stag as not so rapey.
Not so rapey.
Maybe not so rapey.
Incesty,
maybe,
rapey.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then
less
there's
rapey.
The Real History of the Dark Rider,
Yep.
which is the Headless Horseman, right?
Little Worthy, the little village with a big history.
Oh, it's got a big history.
Yeah, it definitely has a big
history.
history.
Just of murder.
Yep.
Like there's been like 30 murders in that village.
And then there's one that's really tough to see.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get it?
It's something or other, The Ghost of Coston Abbey.
It's the truth behind the ghost of Coston Abbey.
There's no brochure about the wolf hunter.
There's no brochure about the wolf hunter.
And that's in Little Worthy.
Father Brown's butt.
The brochure about the mooning at the campgrounds.
Yes. Moon over Little Worthy.
Yes, Moon over Little
That's
Worthy.
what that episode should have been entitled.
Yeah. So we've got this psychic fair going on at the home of the St. Stevenses, right?
Yep.
And that's Peter and Jeannie and their son Isaac, who is simultaneously a huffy teenager and simultaneously a justifiably upset person.
Okay, he has
every
trauma.
right to be grumpy.
He has experienced trauma, and they always talk about how he doesn't do anything, and then he spends the rest of the episode doing things.
Oh yeah, he's checking his list and breaking into houses for Hattie. Hattie's played by Janine Davitsky, who I love. I don't know if you'll remember. I think the first time I ever saw Janine Davitsky was on a documentary for the BBC where they selected a family. So it was her and her husband and their 2 children. And they did like a study of them in their house and talked about like all the chemicals that are in your house and like
I remember
how
that.
a family lives.
I think I remember that.
And she made a big deal in the interview with her when they were kind of introducing the family about how she was so ugly. She said, I'm a really ugly woman and I've made a career out of being not attractive and I'm a character actor. And so I get these roles that are like called like ugly lady or old hag or whatever. And she's like, I don't care. I'm getting well paid and I've got tons of acting credits.
She's not ugly.
No, I don't think she is either.
I don't think she is either.
But she's definitely owned it.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Like she's like, I'm not beautiful and I don't care. I own it. And I love that about her.
Absolutely.
And she's so cute in this one.
Yeah, she's very earnest and cute and comes out when she needs to come out.
You know who else is super cute?
Who's super cute?
Fleur.
Fleur is super. Is Fleur below everybody else in this episode? She seems really short to everybody.
She is short.
I know she is short, but she seems super short to people.
The reason why I'm saying she's so cute is this is the first time we see her running.
Oh, yes.
She's got little bow legs.
She's got little bow legs and little feetsies.
And she's hustling.
Yep.
It doesn't help that when I watch the episode the last time, I usually watch it at like 1.5 speed because I'm just looking for certain things. So she was in that yellow shirt. She's like up that hill going to the cave. She's so cute.
It needs some yakety sax.
It does. Yeah. So then we've got the feng shui guy. We've got the tarot card guy. We've got Holly Willoughby there, who we talked about in the mini episode. She's playing herself.
The table that sells mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think they're little ceramic mushrooms, maybe.
Yeah.
But they're in a box that looks like real mushrooms, supposedly.
There's some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Do you think that that all is set dressing, or do you think they invited people who have that kind of business to come and set up a booth?
Every single little part of it was set dressing.
Did you see the sign that says "Don't insult the witches"?
Yes.
What is that for?
Well, to make sure that you don't insult the witches.
Is it a threat? Or is it like a warning?
Yeah.
Like, don't insult the witches. Or is it just kind of be nice?
Yeah. It's probably be nice.
That's the last place you're going to want to insult witches. You're probably surrounded by them.
Yes.
Yes.
Why is there a cameo in this episode?
Why is Holly Willoughby in it?
Yes.
To flirt with Winter.
Why?
I don't know. To sit in the fancy chair. Wow, that's a fancy chair.
The actor's wife was in an episode just recently.
Nick Hendricks' actual wife.
And so why is she there?
I don't know. Maybe somebody owed her a favor, or she's a big fan. I couldn't find any interviews with her talking about being in Midsomer.
Yeah, and in the mini, I talked about how they must exist in the same universe as Ted Lasso.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Well, we've just checked in the chat. Fleur is 5'1".
5'1".
So she
is wee.
She is wee, but she's adorable.
She is so adorable.
We also find out pretty early in this episode that Winter's grandfather, Grandpa Jimmy, has died.
Yes.
And I think that's only there because the psychic fair and a recent death, and it's something that they can kind of tap into to kind of make it seem more authentic.
Yeah.
Like, I love when Hattie meets Winter for the first time. She's like, blah, blah, blah. Oh. Blah, 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 blah. So let's talk about the first murder. Let's talk about Tilly.
Okay. So Tilly is killed at the Angel's Rise Tower.
Yeah. Which looks like a ruin of a cathedral or a keep or something like that.
And she's smothered with a mask. Do you know how that works?
I mean, I've had masks on that felt like they were going to smother me, but I would think you would have to like put a rag in a mask or something and then press it really hard against somebody's face.
I would think.
But she's also stabbed.
Yes.
With a pellucid dagger.
Yes. So we're going to put a picture on the screen right now of her stabbed with the dagger. Okay? So it's up on the screen now.
This dagger is something special.
Now, right before the pandemic, Sarah and I went to the Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And in the Wisconsin Dells, it was empty, first of all, which was weird.
Yeah, because everybody was like bracing for the pandemic, but nobody knew that.
Yeah, we were there for a conference.
Yeah. And so for fun, we went to this thing that was like, it was like a scavenger hunt inside of a building, and it was all like wizardy themed. And so you had to buy a wand, and when you solved a puzzle, you had to like find the thing and like wave your wand at it, and it would rack up points for you on a big screen. And so we both had these wands, and we're running around, going up and down stairs, and like we had to wave them at little fake trees and little screens and all kinds of weird things.
It was fun. It was an afternoon of enjoyment.
But this dagger looks just like one of the wands that we had.
Just like it. Somebody in the chat says it's plastic. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's way plastic. And as a matter of fact, my next door neighbor, when I was a kid, was super into He-Man. He loved He-Man. And he had this He-Man toy that had the Skeletor thing in it. And it must have had like a magnet in it.
Yeah.
And if you waved a wand at it, like the drawbridge came down and the lights in the skull gate came on.
That's Castle Grayskull that you're talking about.
It looks just like that. It looked. Yeah. She was stabbed with the He-Man wand.
Stabbed with the He-Man.
Poor Tilly, stabbed with the He-Man wand. And I love that they have the pictures of all of the like sigils that are around, and they're showing them to all these experts.
Yes.
Who should be able to say, "Oh, that is the symbol of blah," or "That is the symbol of blah."
Absolutely.
But everybody they show it to goes, "Oh, those are magic sigils."
Yeah, we don't know what they are though.
More detail?
At least
they're magic.
At least the scientist is like, "Oh, that's from this."
Well, he's got books.
This guy. He's got the books.
He looks it up. Yeah. So B dies at this tower. What is it? 10 years ago? How long has it been?
It's like 9 years.
9 years ago, and she falls.
Yeah.
So that's an accident.
But we don't know why she falls or if it's suicide or anything.
I think it's an accident. I think she's just where she shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I doubt they advocate people climbing up into that tower and standing in that derelict stone window. Yeah. So the ivy that she's holding on to gives, it kind of sounds like, and she falls, right? And so she dies. Splat. And that kind of sets up the story for the whole episode.
Yeah.
So now Tilly has been murdered in the same spot, but she's been suffocated and stabbed with a He-Man wand.
Yes.
Right.
Stabbed with a He-Man wand.
Yes. But she used to work for B's parents.
Yes.
Peter and Jeannie, but they had to let her go. Because she was unreliable. And
we'll cover this probably right before the end, but the motive for killing her is really...
She kept annoying me. She made me sad. So I killed her.
The killer is kind of like, I'm upset by this, so I'm going to start killing people.
If anybody mentions it, I'm going to kill them.
Yeah.
That's how you handle grief, you know?
Yeah.
You just knock off anybody who reminds you of the dead person, and then you're all better. It's all better. Oh boy, the world would be a different place if we did that, right?
Yes.
Simeon Dagley, the tarot card reader.
So Simeon, I love his name, first of all. And then I love that he is tarot reader / accountant.
He says accountant by day, tarot reader by destiny. So I am university professor by day, podcaster by destiny.
I guess.
Or Halloween fanatic by destiny.
It's still weird. Feels weird when we tell people we're podcasters.
Yeah.
Because we're like, we have a podcast, you know, and people.
Well, you do, and I go, we have a podcast. I don't want to be one of those people. I'm not like saying you have to listen to it or anything. But if you like that show, you might want to listen. But if you don't, it's okay. It's forget I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be Sally Ann and Rachel going. No. We have a podcast.
Well, they do the whammo on them.
Yeah.
Do the spell. So I want a show with them investigating crime.
I like Hattie better. Oh. So he has a Thoth deck.
Yes.
Which is the evil Aleister Crowley deck.
Yes.
And a Levi tarot deck.
Yeah.
There's tarot decks for everything. Did you know there's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot deck?
I was aware of that.
Do you know there's a Star Trek tarot deck?
Of course there is.
That doesn't mesh.
Well,
for me.
When I
like Star Trek, super science, not supernatural at all.
When I was in uni, I had a postmodern tarot deck.
Oh, okay.
I didn't understand half the
Did
cards.
you whip it out at parties to impress girls?
Of course I did.
Before or after the guitar?
Of course I did.
Did it have like Descartes or
it had
Foucault on it or something?
There was a Derrida card. I know
a Borges card?
Wow, we're way in the weeds now.
This is how nerdy we are, if you didn't already know. Then there's Ginger, the ginger knitting librarian.
Why is her name Ginger?
Because she's ginger. Her mom has no creativity.
I love how she gets so angry at the end.
Yeah, she does. Because knowing Midsomer, when you first see her, she's mousy and she's quiet, so she's probably the killer, right?
Or she's going to make food and put it in the backyard.
Yeah. I spent every scene with Ginger trying to decide if the actress really knew how to knit, because that's what I always do when I see somebody knitting. I have to watch their hands, and I always watch Miss Marple going, is she actually knitting? Did she learn how to knit?
Yeah, the older Miss Marple, the very first one on BBC, that lady did not know how to knit.
She held knitting needles and she went clack, 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 clack. She just hit them against each other. I don't think Ginger knows how to knit.
Oh,
she's holding it right, but she's not really doing anything. She always has an excuse to just set it down.
Bookmobile is a Cully's job.
That's right. But this is a different kind of bookmobile than... It's a different bookmobile. It's the Little Worthy bookmobile. And Oh, the psychic sketch artist. Can you put the image of the psychic sketch
Yes,
artist up
I
for
can
us?
put up this,
so we can fully appreciate the
the
artistry
picture of the
psychic sketch artist. Because wow, we talked on the mini about how you can actually like pay somebody to draw a picture of your future, the love of your life, and they're always super attractive people.
Yes.
That is not the case with the psychic sketch artist.
No, the psychic sketch artist needs some help.
They look like victims.
Yeah, like...
More than loved ones. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be.
Well, one of them, the one that has the lights around it, does not look human.
Yeah, the one furthest to the right, like right behind Rachel's back,
yes.
It looks like a goblin.
Yes. And
I'm getting your grandmother. Was she
Gollum?
a goblin? And then the other ones, they look like sketch artists from a police station more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, before pictures from a drawing class. You're right. Wow, they're bad. They're really bad.
With that really good painting in the background, like it's almost like that painting should be like...
It's kind of cruel comparison, isn't it? Good art, bad art. Good art, bad art. Oh boy. Yeah, so then there's the feng shui guy who is an interior designer, I guess. And he's complaining about being near the door because the chi will, you know, it's air and water. Do you actually think he's flirting with Sarah? Or is he just trying to drum up business and being nice to people?
I think he's trying to drum up business and be nice to people.
I don't think Sarah's his type.
Having been to conventions and gone to conventions, you have to assume that people are just trying to chat you up to sell you something.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
That's why they're there.
That's why they're there.
Except Sarah.
Yeah.
Who's just there to show off the history. The creepy history.
And bring her dog.
Poor Patty.
Why does Patty come?
He's not feeling well, Mark. You can't leave him at home. And where is Betty?
She's away with her modeling career. In the
Hurricane Betty. That's what Sarah calls her.
Yeah.
Hurricane. She's away for something for school.
Yeah, she's away for something for school.
College. So one of the things that Sarah is there to talk about is the Hellfire, not the Hellfire Club, the Spirit of the Damned Club.
Yes.
Right? Which happens in these caves, the Hades caves.
Yes.
And I don't remember, did we mention this on the mini? I don't know if we did or not.
Found them?
Yeah, because the way she talks about it, it is a direct callback to the Hellfire Club, which was a real thing. Started by Sir Francis Dashwood, the Earl of Sandwich.
Yes.
And they got up to naughty things.
Well,
in a cave and in a folly.
If you're in a group called the Hellfire Club, I think naughtiness is allowed.
You're not cross-stitching.
No.
No.
You can do naughty things or play Metallica on your guitar. Either one.
There was a lot of drinking.
I would think there would be drinking.
There was a lot of pretending to be a cult people.
Yes.
And I think there were a lot of mostly naked ladies involved.
Yes.
That's what the Hellfire Club did.
Yeah.
They were richy guys getting away with stuff that they wouldn't normally be able to do.
With naked ladies.
With some naked ladies. Yeah, I think so. What did you think of Gerard's house?
Okay. He's making mint.
Yeah.
Because that, again, is a multi-million-dollar house.
Is it a mill?
I think it's a mill because it has that big open area in the middle.
There's a big cog.
Yeah, there's a big cog.
In the stairway area. Yeah. And it's on a stream.
He gets creepy so fast.
Yeah,
he
does.
The rat appears on his car, right? Mm-hmm. And you're kind of like, oh, he's
somebody's persecuting him. Oh, yeah. That's too bad.
He's full of himself, but
then you find out, no, he really deserves it.
He's really super creepy.
Yeah. And I don't know why he's trying to victimize Jeannie because she doesn't have a lot of money. Peter says they have to host the psychic fair because they're broke, basically. They're like land rich, money poor, gentry kind of people.
I would postulate that he wants to seduce her and place her in his rapture because it's a challenge because she's so gaudy
Yeah.
that he sees it as a challenge to convince her of her past lives in Pompeii.
Well, everybody was Cleopatra, apparently.
Yes.
Did you see his...
No one says, in my past life, I was a peasant.
I was a serf, and I was beaten every day.
Yes.
And I died
I have a
young.
much better life now.
The end. Did you see his owl?
No. Does he have an owl?
He has a giant owl.
A giant owl.
When they're outside, they look at the little creek.
Yeah.
Or we say crick here in Indiana. They look at the creek where the newt lives.
Yes.
And then they walk across the yard and over a little bridge, and he's ahead of them, and he kind of pauses and turns back and talks to Barnaby and Winter.
Yes.
And next to them is a red owl sculpture that's 5 feet tall.
Wow.
It's humongous.
That's a big owl.
It's massive. And it's just a big old red owl.
Is it metal or is it wood?
Can't tell. It's sitting on a stump, so it might be wood.
If it's wood, the beaver might be able to get it.
Oh, yeah. The beaver.
I gotta say.
The beaver, which is just a rattling growl in a crate. Because that's the sound beavers make.
First of all, beavers don't make that sound. They're generally really quiet and like they have a nature of not being super feral.
Yeah.
Right? If you corner a beaver,
It's going to defend itself.
It's going to be upset. But any beavers I've ever seen have been...
They're busy doing their thing.
They're busy doing their thing.
And could you really keep a beaver in a wood box? Just
I don't
wondering.
think so.
You just go... It'd be out in no time, right?
Yeah, you would think. I gotta get some maple syrup.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here, eh?
I mean, you put it in a metal cage or something.
Where's the hockey game?
If you put it in a wood box, it's like, this is no problem. I'm out.
It's so weird. It's like it's in 2 scenes,
Yes.
and I feel it's completely added on.
Yes.
They're like, we don't have enough weird stuff in this episode. Yeah. I know the answer. Beavers.
Beavers in a box. And when it's just one, what is one beaver going to do to help anybody?
No, certainly not procreate.
And if it builds a dam in that stream, it might save Sally Ann and Rachel from flooding, but it's just going to flood everybody else.
It's going to flood somebody else. And plus, wild animals are notoriously difficult to get to do what you want them to do.
Yeah, it's like you just drop a beaver in water and they immediately start building a dam.
Where would you like the dam, ma'am?
Here, there. Yeah.
Can I have my maple syrup now?
The great crested newts need to be saved.
Yes, the newts need to be saved.
So Peter is a physicist.
Yes.
He was investigating string theory.
Well, he was reporting string theory.
Right. He was fake researching string theory.
Which is one of those theoretical physicist kind of things, which is important.
Yes.
It's important to have theoretical physicists.
But it's handy if you want to say something very advanced that most people won't understand.
And you're usually 75 years behind any actual experimentation proof of what you're saying.
Yes.
So you could be like, there are strings that connect everything.
Oh, they've just started actually reintroducing beavers to Britain, according to Nocturnal Druid. Awesome. I hope they're smart enough to put them down in pairs at least.
And not in wooden
Not in wooden boxes. No, there was an operation, I think it was in Canada, to rehome a bunch of beavers, and they dropped them with parachutes out of a plane.
They did drop them with parachutes out of a plane, and all those beavers survived.
Oh, yeah, it was successful.
It was super good.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jonas is his research assistant.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
the killer.
I would assume if you're studying something like string theory, that's pretty advanced stuff. You're going to need some advanced degrees, even to be a research assistant.
You have to be working on your PhD at the very least.
But Jonas just graduates from college and moves home and starts helping Peter with string theory.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like he's the boyfriend of
B, the daughter.
And he hasn't moved on. It's weird that happened, and of course it makes him kill people.
Yeah.
But also, it's weird that he's like, okay, we've both been grad students, and we've both been asked to do things at grad student level that are demeaning. For instance, I was asked to teach a 400-person class for no extra money.
Yeah.
That's an example of what I was asked to do.
You said no.
I said no.
You said hell no, I think.
Yes. And yet he's doing stuff at these people's houses. Okay, if you're doing stuff at your advisor's house and it's not social, you've crossed a line there. You need a graduate union.
You don't take their dry cleaning. You don't do any of that. And yeah, he's been roped into helping with a psychic fair, which has nothing to do with the research that apparently is over anyway.
Well, it's filled and full of murderous rage.
And he's no good at it, okay?
Oh, he's also really bad at it. It should be stopped right away.
The ticket booth is off to the side of the front door.
Yes.
It's not even like in the way. You can just walk in.
Yes.
Which a lot of people do, including the guy who sneaks in behind Jonas.
So we have a picture of this guy. He sneaks in. He's the guy in the pink shirt in the picture that it's up. It's coming up in just a few minutes. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat about beavers pulling their parachute strings, wearing goggles.
Paratrooper.
There it is. Paratrooper beavers.
Yes.
So this guy in the pink shirt,
he's also piloted.
He sits on that bench over there behind him until Gerard distracts Jonas, and then he hops up and runs inside.
Yeah. He totally...
like, this is my chance.
Yeah. He totally gets in without paying.
He gets in without paying. Completely. That was one of our Watch Like a Maniacs. So, Tilly's dad, Frank, he's another one of those amazing midsummer farmers who runs a giant farm alone.
All by himself.
Yep. He burns Tilly's journal. Yeah. Now, could her name be bigger on the front of that? It's wider than the journal.
It's like a 12-year-old girl's journal.
Like, Tilly! And big metal letters on the front.
Tilly.
It's Tilly's journal. But he says B is the devil.
The devil.
I mean, our kids have had friends we weren't crazy about, but I've never said one of them was the devil.
No.
Especially if they had died.
Especially if they were the devil, I'd be like, have that devil kid around here.
Devil kid's
teach me
cool.
some new licks on the guitar.
Yeah,
man.
maybe he can interpret these sigils for us that we don't understand. I did go to high school with a kid from the wrong side of the tracks whose name was Natas. Natas.
Well, then
it was Satan backwards.
Yep.
His parents named him Natas. And he lived up to it.
There's a hockey player named Miroslav Satan also.
Satan.
It was cool to see his jersey with Satan.
Well, yeah, everybody wants that one. Did you see the giant leaf in Tilly's room?
Why does she... Okay, so she has all this eco-friendly stuff, and then it's never mentioned at all in the episode that she's super eco-friendly.
Well, yeah, she was saving the newts.
I guess.
And she was doing that already. She didn't do that for Gerard's benefit.
Was she doing that with the leaf?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, do you see what time it is?
It is 1:45 the hour.
We got to put the pedal down on these dead people.
I know. So let's talk about Simeon's death. Okay, so Simeon is upset about his cards.
Every time I hear Simeon, I just think of monkeys.
Yes. So then he takes a banana and goes out into the forest.
In his matching waistcoat and bow tie.
Yes.
And gets hung upside down like a number 4.
Yes. So
that actor, wow, he is upside down. He is legitimately upside down. I looked so closely at every shot of him, and it is never a mannequin. It is that actor, whose name is Richard David Kane.
Yep.
Kudos to him.
He's obviously on a rig. He's not hung up by his
He's
ankle.
not actually hanging by his foot, but he is upside down. And when you see the close-up of his face, You can tell the veins in his temples are starting to kind of puff up because he's been upside down for so long.
Some tough times, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the picture of the full-bodied picture.
And now I have the close-up is up there.
Yes, the clip-on bow tie. You're so right. Like, if you're going to go to that length of fancy waistcoat and bow tie, you should at least know how to tie a bow tie.
You should.
So I looked into how long you can actually hang upside down before you die. Because, of course, you know, our bodies function with the benefit of gravity, right? Your lungs need gravity and your circulatory system certainly needs gravity
to work.
And it seems like there's a super wide range of tolerance. But after about 15 minutes, most people will start to run into some problems, right? Eventually, you will go blind, though. When you get tipped back up again, your vision could come back, or not, because the vessels in your eyes are so sensitive.
Yeah.
But in 97, there were a group of Belgians on a roller coaster that stopped at the top of a loop upside down.
Okay, so they're on a roller coaster. It stops,
and they are stuck upside down for 90 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And none of them died.
I can only, like, the first 2 or 3 minutes, you have silence, and then you have the nervous laughter, and then you have panic setting.
Oh no, it would be screaming from the first second. As soon as it stopped, it's just screaming. So they interviewed one of the ladies who was on it, and she said the long-term effects for her was she had massive bruises on her shoulders from resting on the harness that held them into the seats.
Yeah.
Because they were just hung upside down, so all of her weight was on it. And David Blaine, the magician, was once upside down for 60 hours.
Okay. Was he actually, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he does like physical
He does
feats.
those weird physical things.
Yeah. 60 hours.
Yeah. That's
the only
insane.
time that he wasn't upside down was if he had to go to the bathroom and he got to eat. But that was like a total of like 10 minutes at a time. No, thank you. I don't even like touching my toes. I get a little dizzy if I have to like stand up too fast. Never mind hang upside down. But I'm super impressed with that actor for hanging upside down for so long.
Yeah, he totally does a good job. So then Gerard is confronted
By Ginger. And her vengeance and rage.
And I like how in this episode, they go out of their way to prove all the psychics are false.
Yes.
As well as leaving the door open.
But they're not all bad.
No,
like Hattie's not bad.
No, Hattie is trying to help.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, the way she knows how.
Yeah.
And I think she does help.
Yeah, I think she does too. And what she's doing, having Isaac look into people and gather information, that's something that fake psychics actually do.
Absolutely do.
Right?
Yep.
In the old times, in the early days of spiritualism, really successful spiritualists used to send scouts to a town before they came there to like scope it out, hang out in the pub, go to the tea room, take notes on everybody, talk to people, get the gossip. And sorry. And they would gather all that information well before the actual psychic showed up.
Oh, and this is totally an idea or a problem that is close to my heart. I've talked about spiritualist photographers in the past, and the comic that I write, the second episode, the second issue of that comic is all about a fake psychic.
Yeah. But they're not all bad people.
They're not bad people.
Gerard is awful.
Yes, Gerard is awful.
And Ginger lays it down.
Oh, she does. I love it when she goes, did he tell you that you were Cleopatra?
Yeah.
And she's like, yes.
Have you already given him money? Yeah. I'm really glad that Jeannie just believes her.
Yeah.
That Gerard's like, oh, don't listen to her. She's blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Absolutely.
And Peter doesn't lord it over her.
No.
She's like, aren't you mad at me? He's like, no. I'm not mad. It's okay.
Those things happen. People get taken advantage of.
Especially in grief.
Yeah.
But man, Ginger's angry. She should run him down with the bookmobile.
So you think she puts the rat on the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you?
Yeah. She also keys his car too.
Yeah, she does. I don't know if it's a key, it's something, but she just down the side of his car.
Absolutely.
Like, no concern at all. Why does Winter smell like peppermint after the ladies throw bilge water on him?
I don't know. And shouldn't he smell of something else?
Like bilge water?
Or wintergreen?
Oh, you're so funny. Aha. No, because his grandpa ate peppermints.
Yes.
So he smells like peppermint? No,
Okay.
it's Fleur's back pocket.
Yeah, it's really weird what the whole smell thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mean to grandpa.
Why?
Well, it's your grandpa smelled.
Well, no, he always had a peppermint.
Yeah, I guess.
So the secret society, the Spirits of the Damned Club or whatever they're called.
Which is my favorite part of the episode because I want to go hang out with those ladies because they obviously are like, that is a very positive, affirming mental health reaction to a male-dominated world.
Well, yeah, it's a way to cope with it.
They get together, they do this activity that's ritualistic.
It helps them feel better.
But doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
And then they go home and get drunk.
But they could just, stand up like Ginger does.
Yes.
But maybe it's the club that gives her the confidence to confront Gerard.
I think so.
But if you're going to have a secret clandestine group where you wear black hoods, you put your black cloak in like a duffel,
Yeah.
in a bag, in a tote.
No, you walk around the village in your big black coat.
You're supposed to carry it to the site and then you put it on, not twinkle through the village in pairs already in your cloaks. That kind of gives it away.
I love how Winter is like, there's chanting and cloaks. I can't go in by myself.
Yeah. Well, would you in
I need
Midsomer?
backup.
I mean, the last time they saw something like that, somebody wound up dead on a big stone in the middle of a circle.
That's true.
I mean, I would be careful too if I were him.
Yes, we have 8 minutes.
I know. So we find out that Peter has plagiarized his science, right? So he's a fake.
The undercurrent theme of this whole episode is people who are fake.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's okay and sometimes it's not.
Right. And sometimes it's for good reasons and sometimes it's not. But Peter, as a researcher who got a lot of credit for what he did, the fact that he was stealing it all from a Romanian scientist who he was paying off,
Yes.
that's pretty low. That tells you something about his character, I think.
Think Latterly doesn't want their ritual cloak to get wrinkled in the gym bag.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe you could have one that's reversible.
Maybe.
I saw a postman in a poncho the other day. Have you ever seen a postal poncho?
No.
It was like an official poncho.
Official. Okay, we have 7 minutes left.
I
We're
know.
talking about
But it was like...
post office ponchos.
No, it was the post office tweedy blue fabric and had the little ribbon around the bottom like they have on the bottom of their
I
shorts.
just want their little electric car.
And he had his bag underneath it.
Oh,
It was
nice.
raining. He was wearing a poncho.
Nice.
It was awesome. Maybe you could have a reversible cloak.
Yes.
So the inside could be like Burberry fabric, the plaid. And then when you get to the ritual, you take it off and flip it around.
I also like
the
in
black
this
side
episode, to get us towards the end of this episode, is I
A
like how
Burberry ritual cloak would be so expensive, by the way. It would be like $12,000 or something.
I like how Fleur is taken hostage and then saves herself.
Oh, yeah. She's having none of that.
Yeah.
Well, and what does Jonas have in his hand? He has a star.
He has a little plastic star.
It's metal, and it's pointy.
I don't think it's metal.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, but I don't think it is. I think it's about as dangerous as the
It's a
Skeletor wand.
It's a Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It is a Christmas ornament.
But it is pointy. But if you hold it with 2 points up, it's the devil.
It's the devil.
Yes.
Somebody was suggested in Midsomer Maniacs punch.
Yes. But he's got it to her throat, and it does look pointy.
pointy, but no.
If it's metal and it's sharp.
It's not metal. It doesn't look metal.
But it's supposed to be.
I think probably they had to do 2 or 3 takes of that because he accidentally bumped it into her neck and it bent over.
But you're right. She's not having it. And when she has the first opportunity to get loose from him, she does.
She saves herself.
Yeah.
Yep.
She does.
And I like that it's Winter doing the talking here.
Mm-hmm. It's not always Barnaby to the rescue.
It's not always Barnaby to the talk rescue.
Yeah.
Stop or we'll say Satan again.
So Hattie channels B to talk to Jonas, right? Because he's killed Tilly because she told him she had a dream about B.
What?
I know. And then he killed Simeon because Simeon knew about the dream and said he'd seen something in the cards about B. And Jonas just can't be having people talking about his dead girlfriend.
No.
It's upsetting, Mark.
It's upsetting.
So they have to die.
They have to die.
He needs some therapy.
He needs some grief counseling.
We need a better help discount code for Jonas.
Yes.
But then Hattie is like, B wouldn't want you to do this. She wouldn't be happy with this, right?
Which, if it's true or not, she's doing the right thing.
Yes, even if she's faking it. But she says, stop, Bubsa, stop.
Bubsa.
That's their term of endearment?
And, okay.
B called him Bubsa?
I know people have different terms of endearment, but usually anybody who's friends with them knows.
You would hear her call him that.
Yeah.
Right? But Bubsa to me sounds like brother.
Yeah.
Like,
yo, Bubsa.
Well, my kids, so the triplets, they used to call Xander Bubby.
Yeah.
Their brother, Bubby.
Yes.
The girls did. So I looked up Bubsa. I can't find any reference to Bubsa as a term for endearment.
Yes.
There is a guy on Twitch who's really popular playing video games whose name is Bubsa.
Okay.
So what...
Does he have subscribers that you can give to us?
What would Hattie have to say for you to think she actually was channeling me?
Well,
that would prove it was me and not somebody else.
It's not that we have specific names for each other, but we have things that we understand that no one else understands. Mm-hmm. Like miniature armpit Napoleon.
Yes.
Which is on my wallet.
It's on your wallet because it's a joke between us that neither of us remembers where it got started.
No, we don't remember.
But now that wouldn't work, right? Because anybody who's ever seen your wallet would know that that's something that you and I know.
So
maybe if Hattie said, "Hey, maniacs," I'd be like, "Mark, it's you."
Oh my gosh! If somebody actually, I'm just waiting for the moment where somebody says "maniac" on the show and turns to the camera and goes, "Maniacs."
That would be so awesome if Barnaby just broke the wall and said, "Hey,
because
maniacs."
Absolutely, like again, this week we got liked by a couple of cast members on messages that we put out. So.
And maybe they know nothing. Maybe they're just clicking a button or their PA's clicking a button. But I have a feeling at least some people know that there's a show.
People seem to like my
podcast.
sparkle hair on the last reel I put out with my big eyelashes.
You're so pretty.
Yes, I do.
So they take Jonas down. The end.
Yes. Best corpse.
It's got to be Simeon. He's upside down.
Yes, he's absolutely upside down.
For forever. He strikes the pose perfectly. I wonder if they had other tarot cards that could have been his logo, and they were like, okay, Richard David Kane, which of the poses can you do off these tarot cards? You do that one really well. Can you do it upside down?
No.
Okay, that's the one we're going to use for your logo. Or maybe they chose the logo first and they auditioned actors and made them hang upside down.
I guess. Maybe.
Can you strike this pose? The role is yours. After the credits.
After the credits. Everybody is just damaged in this episode, especially the beavers.
Poor beaver. That's going to be one lonely, angry beaver.
Yep.
Just hanging out with newts.
Yep.
I hope he floods their house even more.
I hope. No.
I hope he eats the owls.
I like them. I don't like Gerard. Gerard.
Well, no, Gerard's bad.
Yeah,
Gerard's going to go to jail at some point because he's definitely stole some money from people and misled them. And do you think Peter and Jeannie are going to be okay?
I hope so.
You think Isaac is going to be okay? Maybe the three of them will talk a little bit now.
That would be nice.
Maybe. Ginger has got it going on. Yeah. She's going to be fine. She's going to be driving the bookmobile with attitude.
Yeah.
From now on.
Ginger's going to find a new partner of whatever type she prefers.
Yep.
And enjoy life.
And I think Hattie's going to be okay.
Yep.
She might give up the psychic gig.
Yes.
Who else do we care about? I think Frank Mulroney's just going to keep on running his farm.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of a gristly old guy already.
Old man already.
It's sad that he's alone now.
Yeah. But he's an old fool.
Yeah. He's heartbroken.
Yes.
And Sally Ann and Rachel will keep making their podcast.
I hope so.
I'm sure they'll make an episode about the murders.
Yeah.
And probably get some press for it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is The Witches of Angels Rise.
Okay. So before we do our official announcement, would you like me to go get Olive?
Yeah. So let's take a few minutes. You can go grab Olive, and I will keep the troops entertained, and we'll give people a few minutes to get here who have wanted to skip the part of the podcast that's spoilers only. I should actually look at you. I keep looking at Sarah, but I should be looking right at you. So I just want to start this whole discussion of Mystery Maniacs with how much we absolutely love and thank you guys. We're 3 years into this podcast. It is a fun thing that we decided to do on a couple of afternoons that has turned into a situation where we're raising hundreds of dollars for charity, a situation where we're building community, and a situation where we found a community of people who loved a show that we loved. And I know you've all been in this situation. There's two types of this situation. The first type is when you say, I love Midsomer Murders, and they say, I've never heard of it. And then you get to introduce them into the show. And now here's Olive. So Olive's going to steal the show in a second. And then there's the second type of people who you say, oh, I really love Midsomer Murders. And they say, I do too. And when they do that, you form a connection. You can start talking about your favorite episodes. Yes, Olive has in fact grown. Oh, did you wake her up?
I did.
Oh, she is sleepy. She usually sleeps in the afternoons now. So.
I told her that her present was requested.
So part of that is that thank you to all of you for doing that, for talking about the show, for spreading the word about the show. I saw earlier that somebody had mentioned the podcast to some of their friends and that we're going to get some new listeners. We're always getting new listeners. And I really am overwhelmed constantly by all the positive comments that we get. You're so tired.
Is she behind the mic?
Yeah, she's a little behind the mic. If you move the mic, there you go. There we can see Olive. So she's got her Yoda ears on. They're not very perky because she's so tired.
She's sleepy.
So
you've been napping.
That she has a very upmarket collar, someone said. It has rainbows and unicorns on her collar. So she's so calm. Yeah, you want to see her about 7:00 tonight when she's bouncing around the living room?
She gets a little crazy sometimes, don't ya?
Oh, you're waking up a little bit now.
You have to look at the camera.
She is a good pupper.
You're a good baby. Could you yawn some more?
Are we keeping you up, Olive?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you step away and
I'll put the
return
baby back in her bed.
Olive back to her bed, I can talk about what's going to happen. So what we're going to do for the next hour is, first of all, talk about the switch. Yep, there's more Olive. And then we're going to play the trailer that has audio and video, because we're doing reels and all that sort of stuff. And then when we're done with the trailer, we're going to give you exact information about specific episodes that we'll be covering and the dates that we'll be covering those episodes, so that you can begin to spread the word. What we're hoping, of course, is that we increase our audience and that we get people who are like, oh, I don't like Midsomer, but I like this other show. Maybe you listen to that. And then maybe they'd listen to other episodes and things like that. And we're trying to get a wide variety of shows so that we can expand that audience and maybe include some people that aren't Midsomer fans, but might become Midsomer fans, and that hopefully are Maniac fans and Maniacs like us. Absolutely. And that's what we want to do with that. So once Sarah steps back in here, we will talk about the Mystery Maniacs. And the first thing that we want to talk about with the Mystery Maniacs is our new logo. So this is the new logo, what it looks like. The Mystery Maniacs podcast. This is designed by Sarah. No, you're not on camera now. I have
yet.
the logo up. So tell us about the design of the logo.
Oh, I just wanted something fun. I wanted something that evoked shows where British people get killed, basically. That's kind of the rule, right? And that might look good on a T-shirt. So it's a teacup.
Yes.
It's a bloody teacup with a Mystery Maniacs tea bag. How often are we going to say that and say Midsomer Maniacs when we mean Mystery Maniacs?
We're gonna make mistakes, but like pronouns, I'm sure everybody's gonna accept what we say and understand that sometimes we make mistakes. The Mystery Maniacs.
So we'll have some T-shirts and stuff up soon with the new logo. If you're interested in those, give us a week or so. And
yeah,
we'll
definitely have some merch coming.
We'll post when they're up.
Yep.
We have to. Are we going to watch the trailer?
Yes. So the next thing I want to do is show the trailer. Now, I'm pretty sure you're going to hear audio and see video, okay? So if you don't, we'll try to figure something out. But this trailer is going to drop tomorrow for the real world, okay?
You're seeing it 24 hours before everybody else.
You're getting it before anybody else, okay? And the information that comes after the trailer, you're getting before the newsletter. You get it from the live episode. Then it's going out in the newsletter on Wednesday. And then it'll go out into the real world. By the way, we haven't talked about this. This is the world's busiest month.
Show us the trailer.
Okay. Here we go with the world premiere of the trailer. Okay, so hopefully you guys heard less gore and more creatine. So they heard it and they saw it. Okay.
Yay!
Yes. So that is the trailer. And now we are Mystery Maniacs. So yes, to answer your question, and please feel free if you have questions. So this will be coming out on the same
Monday release schedule.
Same Monday release schedule.
On all the same accounts.
And all the same accounts. So what we're going to do is change the name on the account as much as possible.
So if you follow us on Spotify or Stitcher or YouTube, you'll see the name change, but the account will stay the same. So you won't have to refollow or anything. All your subscriptions and everything will be there. Yep.
Right? Got to put that logo on a mug. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. So that is a couple of things I want to talk about, is what's going to change and what's not going to change. And really, we tried to make it as easy for you guys as possible.
Yeah.
Right? So just to begin, there are a couple of things. Exact same schedule. Every Monday, 9 a.m., same schedule. We're getting the same, roughly the same length of episode.
We'll still have Best Corpse.
We might. We'll still have Best Corpse. We'll still have Bad Movies. We'll still have all that stuff. But we will have more possibly as we go through.
Yeah.
Really, what we're trying to do is build the audience and build the knowledge of Mystery Maniacs for the next couple of months. Then we'll begin adding on more
fun stuff, more new
fun
features.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same feed, you don't have to change your feed. You don't have to change your subscriptions. Though, if you would like to subscribe
to the YouTube channel,
it would be
so
awesome.
We can get 1,000.
But there will be new socials for all of those things. And I'm going to put the new socials into the chat right now. And
so you mean like a new Twitter account, new Instagram account?
And we are going to double post.
Yeah. So if you follow us now,
it's great. But this is what we're going to tell the new people.
Yeah.
What to follow, right? And these new socials are going to have the exact same material. You may actually double up on the material, but we think that's okay. Mm-hmm. And one thing that we have not had before is we now have a Facebook page for the podcast. Okay.
Because before we participated on the Midsomer page and on the Acorn page, and it just didn't make sense for us to have our own. But now for Mystery Maniacs, we'll have our very own Facebook page. So we'll have a place where we can hang out. We'll still post those other places when it makes sense. And we will certainly release new Midsomer Maniacs episodes when they come out in the same feeds. So you won't have to juggle a bunch of stuff. You won't miss anything.
So what we would like you to do is to go to the Twitter and the Instagram and the Facebook page and like and subscribe to all those too, so that when we get new fans, because there's a bunch of new Facebook groups that we're going to start posting to, when they go to the page and they go to the Instagram and they see that we have all these fans already, they're more likely to join, right?
Yeah,
so
and the more people, the more fun we will have.
Yes.
And by the way, we still have no intention of monetizing anything.
No.
You will not hear ads on the new show. No sponsors, none of that. We're not going to do that. So when we talk about more people, we just mean more awesome people.
We just want more, we want more community.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
So I posted the Instagram, the Facebook, and the Twitter on
the chat.
So now let's get to the nitty gritty.
People want to know, what are we going to cover?
What are we going to tell? So the first episode drops on the 15th. And we talked about who did we see in the trailer. We saw Poirot in the trailer.
Father Brown.
And we saw Jonathan Creek.
Yeah.
So we will be starting with the granddaddy of them all. On the 15th of August, we will be covering Poirot, Episode 1, Season 1, The Adventure of the Clapham Cook.
She would have wanted her things. White slavers.
So, for example, a couple of things that are new that we're going to do with this is over my travels in the next little while, because I will be traveling, I'm going to listen to the stories for all three of these Poirot episodes.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to talk about the actual stories as well as the episodes. Mm-hmm. Now, we're talking David Suchet here. We're not talking anybody else right now. And the format is going to be, we're going to cover three episodes from a season a month. And then we're going to have a mini episode that's going to talk about, like we might talk about the new Poirot movies in that mini episode. We haven't 100% figured out, but it'll be Poirot related, but it won't be episode related. So that if you're just interested in Poirot, the books or something like that, you may still tune in.
And we're going to, when we jump into a show like this, we're going to do a few episodes from a single season, but we're not going to cover every season in a row. We're not going to be Poirot maniacs for the next year or anything like that.
No.
We're going to choose a few episodes from one season and dig deep into those for an episode and make fun of them, because even though David Suchet is Poirot.
Yep.
There's still lots to make fun of there. I mean, there's Hastings. I mean, that's enough all by himself is Hastings.
August 22nd, we're going to cover Triangle at Rhodes, which has my favorite minor character in it.
Yeah, the lady with the red gloves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then episode on August 29th, we'll be covering The Problem at Sea, which Hastings is just fantastic.
Is that, do you remember My Hospital? Is that Problem at Sea?
No. I think
that's on
Problem at Sea is the one where Hastings is doing the, it's the one with the puppet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it is?
that's the same
That's
one.
the same one? Yes, the
Where
puppet.
he's having the skeet shooting competition.
Yes.
Yes. So as you can tell, we've seen these quite a few times.
Yes.
So we also kept in mind, as we decided what to cover first, we tried to choose things that we thought a lot of people would have access to.
Yes.
So Poirot, for example, is available on most of the demand services, but it's also available on demand through most public library services.
Yes.
So if you have a library card, check with your library to see if they have them on demand. Like we can stream Poirot from our local library with just our library card on Hoopla.
And
is
that's
the service that
that's
we have.
one of the things why we ask people.
Yeah, we wanted to make
what
sure
service.
everybody could watch. And you'll still put out a reminder message, right?
I'll still
to
put
remind
out
people
a reminder.
to,
And a
to
reminder
watch.
reel with some weird thing on it.
Yeah. So if you forget what we're going to cover, like what episode of Poirot you should watch before Monday's podcast release, we'll still put out a reminder. Okay. So August is Poirot. What's September?
September will be Father Brown season 1, the new BBC Father Brown.
Yes.
That's only a few years old. September 12th, we will be covering Hammer of God, which is the first episode of both series, of both versions of Father Brown. Eye of Apollo, which is in both series also.
Yeah.
And on the 19th and then September 26th, we'll be covering Bride of Christ.
Yes.
And
So again, we
Bride
chose.
of Christ, the first appearance of Sister Boniface.
Oh, that's right.
yes.
Yeah. So again, what we did was we chose our 3 favorite episodes from one season of the show, and that's what we're going to dig into.
Yes,
And then
Dan.
the 4th episode will be a little side venture, and this time we're going to talk about the original Father Brown series to compare it to the new ones. Oh my gosh, if you watch the originals now, not only is it potato vision because of the video quality, but
It's weird.
It's just
super strange.
it's very weird.
I got to agree with Danielle here in the chat about pink gin. I think I might have a sip of pink gin while we're doing Triangle of Rhodes.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So then...
And we may come back later to these shows, next year and choose some things from season 2,
Yes.
right? So we'll have some variety.
Then we have October.
Spooky.
So in October, we will be covering Halloween mysteries.
Yes.
We will cover the Poirot Halloween episode, which is fantastic. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because Ariadne's in it, and
Yep.
that girl drowns in an apple dunking bucket.
Yes, absolutely. And then second of all, we will cover the Father Brown Halloween episode. And then last year or the year before, M.R. James.
For the last few years, Mark Gatiss has
done-
released an M.R. James mini movie on TV, and they're actually put out at Christmas.
Yeah.
But because in the UK, Christmas is the time for spooky stories.
Spooky stories.
But we'll choose 1 or 2 of those, and we'll let you know which ones in case you want to read them or watch them in advance. But we're going to do kind of a theme there.
Yes, Mock Steffler, I will be posting upcoming episode reminders, so you don't
Yes.
have to put this all in your calendar.
No.
The fact that I have it all in my calendar is kind of nice that I remember so much of it.
Yeah, we'll be sure that you know.
So that episode may also be live because, as you know, we kind of do the Halloween. So
Do we get to dress up as our favorite M.R. James character?
we may, in fact, dress up.
That would
I
just be
think-
an old dude in tweeds.
And I also think we should film our Halloween display that we do every year. Maybe do a little introduction to our Halloween display because we do a handmade custom
Yard
Halloween-
extravaganza.
yard extravaganza every year.
Maybe
for
we should do a
Halloween.
Facebook Live or something. Walk around.
Well, I'm hoping that with the Facebook page that we will be able to do YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
Oh, you're so fancy.
You'd think I knew something about the social media.
Okay, tell us about November.
Okay, November will be Jonathan Creek. November 14th, we're going to do Wrestler's Tomb. If you notice very closely, we took 2 weeks off there after Halloween because
we have to recover.
It's kind of busy. November 21st, we will be covering No Trace of Tracy, and then episode 5 of Jonathan Creek, November 28th, The House of Monkeys.
Yes, Danielle, it'll all be in the newsletter.
Yep.
And we'll also put it on the Facebook page and everywhere else. You'll see the schedule.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that everybody can access that anywhere. I like what Think Laterally says. The M.R. James character is a lump in the bed. Yeah. That's so scary.
That's so
anyway, but I don't know if as many people are familiar with Jonathan Creek, but again, it's an older show. It's totally accessible. You can find it all kinds of places. It stars Alan Davies. They're all locked room mysteries.
And Carolyn Quinlan, these episodes.
Yeah. And they're just really fun. So if you've never seen it, you're going to love it. Yeah. You're really going to like it.
Then in December, I didn't make a slide for this, but in December, we will be covering Christmas episodes, including the Mystery Maniacs Christmas song.
Which, who knows what it will include this year? Yeah. It's not just going to be Midsomer.
Who knows? And I got to tell you, I've been taking singing lessons.
You have been. So guess what? You're going to have to sing it.
Yeah.
I'll write it, but you can sing it.
Maybe you'll be a little drummer boy or something like that.
Yeah, a little Poirot boy. So that's the schedule from now until the end of November. Yep. You're seeing it here first. We hope all this makes you happy. It makes us really happy. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And again, all the things that you love about Midsomer Maniacs are not going away. We're just going to be talking about different shows. And if you have other recommendations, or if you have like season 1 recommendations from other shows that your favorite episode, I know a lot of folks were talking about maybe Murdoch. We could certainly do that. What we tried to do was choose mystery shows that are British or Britishish, right? That are not gory, that are light. We don't want to do any noir or heavy.
We're not doing Happy Valley.
No, we're not doing sad serial killer shows. We also wanted to do things that were accessible, that a lot of people could get their hands on. But we also wanted to choose shows that were not, that didn't have like serial arcs of stories, right? Yes, so if you only watch 3 episodes of a season, you can follow along. You know what's happening. Yeah. If those are the only ones you've ever seen, you're not going to be lost.
Yeah.
So those are the criteria. So if you have other shows that you want to recommend to us, by all means, drop us an email, send us a tweet, Instagram post, whatever.
The Brokenwood Brigade has already spoken.
Yes. And I think it definitely qualifies, right? Yeah. It doesn't have a big story arc that you have to understand. You can just dip into it and watch an episode. I would think
in our second sort of quarter that Brokenwood or Murdoch might make an appearance.
Yeah, so, we can certainly do that.
I love Murdoch.
It's so fun.
Geddy Lee showing up in this. So a couple of things. First of all, there's been a lot of questions in the chat about where this is available. Mm-hmm. In the newsletter for that month, I will be telling you where it's available.
A month in advance, you'll know.
In advance, you'll know. This show is on this platform, or you can get it here on YouTube, or you can get it in different places, right? Because we want you to be able to see it. Mm-hmm. Second of all, the second thing I need from all of you now, and you need to repeat after me. When I go to post in all these other new groups, if you're in those new groups, you need to be like, oh, that show's awesome. I can't wait till they cover Poirot.
I cannot wait to listen to this episode of the podcast that I already like.
So we need you to go out and say, we're awesome. Of course, if you think we are.
Yeah, if you don't, that's fine. What are you doing here, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, if you want to encourage other folks to listen, that would be great.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. And push them towards the Facebook group, because the Facebook group is going to be our prime way to talk to you guys, right? The people who are already subscribed and liked and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The other groups are for us to find new people to draw into our cult of maniacness.
Yes. There are definitely, if nothing else, there are Agatha Christie junkies out there.
Yes, I think. Well, there's
I don't know. They might get ticked off
Poirot Facebook group that has 64,000 people in it.
They might not like us making fun of Poirot.
We
do it with love, but who knows?
I am going to. I'm first of all going to talk to all the
admins
of these groups about posting in them, because we don't want to make any sort of waves or anything like that.
No.
And we have very good relationships with the Acorn people, the Midsomer, and the 3 Midsomer groups. We have very good relationships with them.
Yeah, we don't want to make
they
anybody
all
mad.
Absolutely are
cult of maniacs. I like that.
Yeah. Do I have to rejoin Facebook for this? No, you don't.
No, of course
We're still
not.
on Twitter, still on Instagram, still on YouTube. I have it figured out that I can post all those things rather quickly.
And there will always be the website where the episodes are posted, where you can put it in the show notes and all that.
Spotify and all that.
So it'll be super easy to see what's
and
coming.
I'll be posting the show notes on that Facebook group too, so that you see all that stuff and don't have to go to anywhere else. Okay, we've given you a ton of information. First of all, do you have questions about Mystery Maniacs? Other than, are you going to cover this? Because we'll get there. We
don't want anybody to be confused. Yeah. And whenever Midsomer episodes release, we're on it.
Yes. So if new Midsomers are released, they supersede any schedule here.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you want to go back to the regular video feed now?
Yes, we should go back to the video feed.
Yeah.
They would take precedence over everything. And then we welcome all the Midsomer, all the people who have done Poirot and all the other places back into Midsomer.
Yeah. 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 So if you have any questions or any confusion, you know how to reach us. Just let us know. We don't want to lose anybody.
No.
So on August 15th, that first Mystery Maniac will drop.
You're going to start noticing changes in all the feeds and all the Instagrams and all that stuff.
In the next week.
In the next week or so, as I change the name on all of them and change the logo and stuff like that.
But same accounts.
Same accounts. Mm-hmm. You just may have a couple extra ones to follow. That's all. So, what do we have questions? Feels like good homework. Will we change the name back when we do?
No, but we'll make sure that it's in the show name, the episode name, that it's Midsomer.
Yeah, so
you'll definitely be able to tell.
The new names of the episodes will have the name of the series first.
Yeah, so it'll be like Poirot, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And the numbering will continue from Midsomer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get off on numbering in a weird way, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you'll be able to tell from the name of the episode what we're talking about. So when it's Midsomer, it'll be there.
We will be still maintaining the subreddit for Midsomer Murders.
Yeah.
We'll always do that. We'll make an announcement in there about this change. And I've joined a couple of new groups on Reddit. And we'll be posting in there. But again, it's always additive.
Are you going to make a Mystery Maniac subreddit?
I think we should make a Mystery Maniac subreddit.
Yeah. I don't think it would be very busy, but it'd be good to have.
It would be good to have if you had specific questions. Mm-hmm. So,
but again, you don't have to be on any of those platforms.
Yes.
To be able to know what's going on. Not a requirement. We are really stoked. This has been a lot of we've been going back and forth on this for almost 2 years about what we were going to do when we ran out of Midsummers.
We're so excited about the change.
So we hope that you're excited too. We're still going to have lots of fun. We hope you'll come along with us.
Yeah.
And if you're not interested in those shows, pay attention to the feed. And when Midsomer comes back, join us for another Midsomer.
I implore you all to come along. Those are all great shows. You'll enjoy them. And also, I think this is a chance for us to broaden our audience and meet new people who are excited about new shows.
Well, and engage with existing people about more things.
Yes.
So that's always fun. All right. I think that's everything.
If I randomly traveling to Bloomington for fill-in-blank college sporting event, I'm contacting you. So that's been a question that has been brought up for us to do a physical meetup. The problem is that 65% of our audience is American, and America is a big country.
Yeah.
And so for us to do a meetup would mean that people would have to travel quite far.
I wish there was an event like a mystery convention that a lot of people were already going to be at.
And if there is an event like that you could suggest, we would definitely do that.
Oh, yeah. Let us know.
If I manage to convince my wife to get in a plane and go to England, we will certainly be doing an event there.
Yeah. We'll do something.
Yeah.
But it's definitely in the future. Because I do think we'll have a broader audience for Mystery Maniacs.
Yes.
So... because there's just more to be interested in because we're doing more shows. So
we would love to do live shows and things like that, but it's just everything is so spread out in America. It's difficult to do unless you're getting millions of downloads every day. So,
Nocturnal Druid, I'm glad that we bring you joy. You bring us joy.
Absolutely. You've been there from the beginning, man. And we have that's one thing that I really like is that we have had people from the beginning liking and subscribing and talking to us, and they're still around. You know,
I'm not nearly as active on the social platforms as you are, but know that if you post to us, if you're emailing or just commenting on stuff, I see all of it. Mark just curates it. He holds that responsibility for the team. He does it. He's really good at it. But it's just been fantastic. I don't want to drag this too much on, but
no.
And we've said it before. We love you guys. We wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for you. And it's so fun. We just have fun every single time.
Yep.
So, we hope that you're looking forward to the new episodes like we are. And
so we're going to do a 2-week break.
Yep.
August 15th, we will return as Mystery Maniacs covering the Clapham Cook.
Yes.
With Poirot.
32 times no.
There will be more information in the newsletter. The next 2 weeks are Crazy Town.
But you'll see some posts from us in various places to remind you about the episode coming out.
Really, this first week, we're just going to alert you guys of this stuff. And then next week is really when we're going to start the promotion, because it's hard to do promotion because it's like, come listen to our podcast that we haven't started yet, but we kind of have.
That we haven't released yet.
Yes.
So we will see, kind of see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
We hope you're excited. We're excited.
We'll continue doing live episodes. And like I said, I think we'll be able to stream on multiple platforms in the future, which would be fantastic.
Thanks for coming today.
Thank you all so much. We love you guys. And thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
All right. Until the 15th.
Bye, Maniacs.